Oh. No rush, grab yourselves a coffee or get yourself settled. I'm running late as well today, so. There's something sticky on my cup. I think I spilled syrup on it. Yes, I did spill syrup on it. So, today was Tassiomancy 2 Day, right? Well, let me tell you, I live in a place in the UK known as the Potteries, capital T, capital K, the Potteries. You know why we're called the Potteries? Because this is where all of, well, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, the English pottery industry came from. Royal Dalton, Wedgwood. Wedgwood House is actually the other side of the park there. In fact, I live in one of the terraced houses that was built for his workers. The art school was his art school, where he sent people to learn painting and stuff and finishing and gilding straight out of college so they could go and work for him. Yeah. I live in the place where all the pottery comes from. And I have been to every thrift shop in 2 different towns and I could not find a single teacup and saucer. Not a single one. What's up with that? I don't know. So I am still teacup and saucerless. And in actual fact, because I only got my car on Tuesday, I haven't seen my friend who has loose leaf tea either. So I can't do my Tassiomancy. That does not mean that we can't do other people's like we did last time. I'm determined to do it and show you how I do it. Because there's nothing quite, it's one thing having to go yourself. It's quite another watching somebody else do it who is used to doing it and has done it many, many times. Although I'm apparently a bit out of practice because I don't own a teacup and saucer and haven't done it for at least 3 years in that case, because I haven't owned one since I moved into this flat. Anyway, we will see. So I called it Tea and Books today. Hands up if you felt the energy shift yesterday. I sure as hell did. Cody did. Yeah, she's like, yes! I don't normally have an issue with Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, it's a nice quiet time for me to back off from the do and the make and sit and quietly plan what I'm going to do for the next 3 months and, you know, figure out my next things and kind of vaguely plan the next 3 months of classes so that we can do our tea chats and work out what we're going to do exactly and how we're going to do it. This one has been a doozy. Mercury retrograde in Pisces season. Oh my Lord. Thank God it's over. Yesterday, I'm not kidding you. Yeah, Richard too, yeah. I think we've all felt it. About 10 o'clock yesterday morning, I went from being literally feeling like somebody had hung something really heavy around my neck and I was walking around like this to, oh my God, I can get going again. Oh, and it's been not depressing exactly, but my God, I felt so ill. Everything's been doom and gloom. It's been like I mean, you know, me, I'm normally, you know me, everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. I was like, nothing's ever going to be fine again, dudes. Nothing is ever going to be fine again. Did you say something, Cody? If you did, you didn't have your mic on.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Just agreeing, yeah. I think everybody felt it. Everybody's felt it. And looking on Instagram, if you look at a lot of the spiritualist girls, they've all been the same. They've all said exactly the same. It's been like carrying a ton of bricks around with you for the last month. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, it was like somebody just lifted them off and you went, whoa! Yeah.
It was like the first time I could think and like focus on thinking.
Yeah. And not just like, I mean, I know you have ADHD, I have squirrel brain. I have too many things going on at once. And I got to the point where I couldn't think about more than one thing at once. And I could only think on that one thing if I wrote it down in front of me. And I'm a multitasker. I'm usually, I'm cooking up plans, I'm planning something else. Even now, when I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about something else I'm going to be doing later, because that's just how my brain works. So I don't think about one thing at a time. And last week, I couldn't think about one thing at a time unless I wrote it down. And other than that, it was just like, we're all going to die. Climate change is real. We're all going to hell in a handbasket and Trump's driving the bus. And if you miss that bus, don't worry, Brexit's coming. May's driving the other one. I'm not alone. But yeah, yesterday, complete energy shift, and I feel much more positive. The fact that I got a commission yesterday helped considerably. Got a bit more money towards paying bills next week, which is a relief. Not out the woods yet, but I'm getting there. And I'm now at the point where Jupiter's going, don't worry, I've got you. Just focus on doing. I've got you. It'll be okay. Just breathe. There are ways around these things. Oh, anyway. So I'm glad it's not just me. It's nice when it's not just you, isn't it? And all these people go, oh no, Mercury retrograde's not real. Really? Anyway, I thought we normally do a tarot reading for tea and, I keep calling it tea and tarot. That's because I've been watching Kellyanne Maddox yesterday. A coffee chat on Saturday. We'll do a proper tarot reading like we always do, which will be an interesting one because it will be for the 3 months, post Mercury retrograde, implementing what we're doing and so on. Because what's the rule for Mercury retrograde? Reflect, review, refocus. Or in this case, the last week at least, just relax, go back to bed, have a nice cup of tea and just hope that it all blows over before the world ends. Still incredibly tired, but seems like your brain is working again. Yes, that's how I felt. Just so tired and bogged down, and like not just physically bogged down or mentally, but spiritually bogged down. It was like everything just felt like, oh. And now I feel like, hang on a minute, there was a definite shift yesterday. Funnily enough, it was round about the time that Mercury stationed. It goes direct tomorrow. Properly, it's currently stationed. But I swear, the minute it ground to a halt, I felt it. I felt that shift. So it can only be onwards from here, can't it? So normally for a retrograde, I do a tarot reading, which we'll do Saturday. Where are we going? What are we doing? Where do we start? Etc. etc. I thought today we do a but first coffee. So I got my Love Notes Oracle, self-love and kindness, just for us, for me, myself and I, and you, yourself and you, over the next day or so. First coffee. What's our coffee going to be? Find your tribe. I'm not much of a find your tribe people. You know, I don't want to find my tribe. I want to lead a damn tribe. But, you know, find your tribe. It gives you, you know, rely on others. Get together. So, you know, your spiritual tribe is out there. Once you find your tribe members, rejoice together. Motivate each other, support each other, and stick together. Share your accomplishments, hopes, desires, and heartbreaks. Praise each other and offer the kindest, tough love when needed. There are strength in numbers. You're never really alone. That's really nice, actually, isn't it? I don't know about you, but even as a dyed-in-the-wool introvert who likes my alone time, knowing that I'm not alone. Did I just say that? Isn't it nice to know that I'm not the only one? How weird. But yeah, find your tribe. Everything was harder last week. Yes, it was, Rose. Found yourself in tears over not being able to find things. Yeah, usually you just go, what the bloody hell have I done with that now? For heaven's sake. And you write it on the list of things I've lost. So that when you come back to find it again and you go, what the hell did I want that for? So you go back to your list and you go, oh yeah, that's what I needed it for. Yes. Oh, I've just shuffled it back in. How have I managed that? Oh, I just shuffled it back in. That must mean that I need another card. So safety in numbers, guys. We're all in this together. If we have to be on the shuffle bus, the struggle bus, as Anne calls it, if we have to be on the struggle bus heading downhill towards Shipsville, we might as well be in it together, right? At least we've got each other. We can have a sing-song on the way. Maybe stop for a coffee and some journaling and do some sketching while we're there. I don't normally shuffle the cards straight back in. I usually put them in my journal. So that's telling me I need another card. So what's our other card? So we're all in this together, and oh, look. Okay, this is weird. What do we see? Oh, look, bunnies. Bunnies and hares, hares especially. I just saw two of the most beautiful hares on canvas. They're 20 quid each, and I don't think I'm going to buy them, but they're beautiful, and I'm very tempted. And they're just those completely crazy, kind of cock-eared, boss-eyed hares that I really love, with the crazy ears, and they're by somebody called Amelia Rose, and they're so cool. This says, nourish yourself. So there's safety in numbers, nourish yourself. Have you been using food to numb rather than nourish? Okay, hands up if you ate a pint of ice cream last week. I had toothache. It was numbing the pain. That was my excuse. Be honest with yourselves. If so, break that pattern today. Show yourselves that you care by choosing healthy, wholesome foods made with love. Eat your veggies, make a green smoothie, toast your longevity. Cookies, yeah, pizza and fry. Everything was about fast food last week. It was like, I can't be arsed. I just cannot be arsed. I cleared out my ready meals in the freezer, which, to be honest, they probably needed clearing out because they've been in there a while. They probably needed to be replaced soon anyway, but yeah. Nourish yourselves, people. Have something nice for tea. Safety in numbers, and have a nice meal. Isn't that a nice comforting thing to have after that doozy of a Mercury retrograde? That's really nice, actually. I like it. You told your mum that you're done with fast foods for now. I like fast food. But when I talk about fast food, I mean stuff I can do in the microwave in 5 minutes. And I can do veggies in the microwave in 5 minutes. Actually, now I think about it, I've got some frozen veg in the freezer that probably needs to be eaten as well. So I can probably do a stir fry. Yes, this Mercury retrograde has been a testing one, to be sure. Frozen leftovers. Well, that's wholesome, because that'll be leftovers from something nice that you made in the winter, won't it? Well, my leftovers always are, on the rare occasions I have them. Rabbits and hares keep coming up for me. I need to, this is the hare I'm going to use for my painting. He's composite. I put him together from a, I put him together from a series of shots on the iPad. So the ears are from one and the head's from another, and the eye is actually from a completely different one because I liked the eye. So yeah, that's going to be my bunny. And I've got a dog to paint. One of my subbies, long-term subby actually, has asked me to do a commission of her soul pup that she lost a while back. So that's nice. While I was out, I had to buy some more canvases. And I found this. It's canvas roll. And it was only £1.50. So I thought, you know, I'm going to have some of that because I thought I've got canvas pads. And they're really like thick. They're like £300 watercolour paper type thickness. Like you could bend them in half and they'd stand up on their own. But this stuff rolls quite tightly at that. So I thought if I got some of this, maybe I could use it for book covers and things. Wouldn't that be cool? A couple of junk journals with a painted book cover. I'm just getting the plastic off in one piece because I want to wrap it back up. So this is 100% cotton. There's 1.5 meters by 40 centimeters. So it's $16, is it? No, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 by metre and a half, a yard and a half. So it's 16 inches by a yard and a half. Jen's going, yes, yes, yes. What are we yes, yes, yesing about? Oh, painted covers, painted book covers. I thought maybe I could try my hand at a painted traveller's notebook. What do you think about trying something like that? Like make a traveller's notebook cover, material on the inside, canvas on the outside, paint it yourself. It would be kind of like the Jane Davenport ones are canvas and they're pre-made and they're plastic on the inside and you paint them yourself and they cost a fortune. And I was thinking I could make some myself with pictures on the front, or make a couple of blank ones so you could paint your own, that kind of stuff. I thought that'd be kind of cool. And I've got all those beautiful batik fabrics that my friend gave me that are absolutely gorgeous for insides. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get all the, it's stuck with so many different bits of sellotape. I'm just trying to get it all off. Okay, so that's the sticky bit. Oh, I hate when they use sellotape. Why can't they just put it in the roll? Best go over that now before I can use it. Where's my bowl of bits? Don't know. Okay, so let me just, it's going to be easier to show you this way around, isn't it? No, that's the wrong camera. There we go. Okay, so this is what it is. For those of you in the UK, I got it in the works. No, the range. And it was £2, £1.50, £2. I can't remember. One of them was £1.50 and one was £2. And I can't remember if I picked up the small one or the large one. I think the large one was 2 meters by 60, because I looked at 60 and went, that's like 2 feet. I don't need 2 feet of canvas. So I think this one was £1.50 and the 2 meter by 60 was £2, but don't quote me on that. But I got it in the range. Cotton canvas. It doesn't currently say on it whether it's pre-gessoed or not. That's what I'm kind of looking for, but it feels pre-gessoed. It feels like it's gessoed. There was a bit of paper here just now, but I don't know where that went. And I thought it had some information on it, but apparently not. No, so I'm just going to have to assume that it's pre-gessoed. I mean, it feels gessoed. It's got that powdery quality to it. Hey, Luna. I was trying to get hold of you yesterday for something and I can't remember what it was. It wasn't important. It was just something I was trying to ask you. I can't remember. So yeah, the range, £1.50, 1.5 meters by 40 centimeters, which is 1.5 yards by, what did we say, 15, 16 inches. And there was a bigger one that was 2 meters by 60 for £2. I think it's pre-gessoed. It's got that kind of talcum powdery feel to it, but I'll test it to see. It might need gessoing, but it's pretty sturdy. I reckon it's sturdy, but it's not stiff. Like if you've used cotton canvas paper, the paper is very stiff. You can't bend it because it will crack. But this is very, it feels like a deck chair. It feels like a cotton deck chair. It's got that heavy duty cotton canvas. So I reckon I'm going to give this a go and see if I can make a traveller's notebook out of it. Let's do it, shall we? Because I reckon with a bit of this and a bit of some kind of stiffening and some fabric, this could be a traveller's notebook pretty darn easily. And I could even yeah, I can paint on it. I'm sure I can. What I'll do is, while I've got it out here and I can see where the sticky bit is before it gets covered in dog hair, I'm going to cut off that bit. That's easily. I think it would tear straight as well. So let's put that with a band on it. So yeah, that'll be a fun little project for next month. I'm running out of slots to do projects. I might have to add an extra slot in somewhere. I was thinking actually I might have to do a Monday slot, like do a pre-recorded for YouTube, but give you guys first access to it or something like that. I might have to do that because I'm literally running out of slots to do stuff. And something like this would be good for a YouTube project, but I'd like you guys to see it first. You pay me for classes. I'd like you guys to see it first and have fun with me and work along with me. And anyway, for those of you who've just arrived, right, let me Let me cut out that bit that's sticky. Bit of that before it gets covered in dog hairs, and then I can use these two bits to test for painting. Okay. For those of you who've just arrived, we pulled an oracle card because boy has this Mercury retrograde been a doozy. And yesterday when it stationed, quite a few of us felt the shift, literally felt the shift. So we pulled two, and the first one I immediately put back in again, which tells me that I needed another one. So the first one I'm just looking for now was Find Your Tribe. Well, instead of like our tarot reading, you know, how do we get out of this? You know, Mercury retrograde's over, thank goodness. Now what do we do? What's up for the next 3 months, moving forward, blah, blah, blah. It was more of a kind of, thank God that's over. Okay, where do we start? But first, coffee. You know, that feeling. Where do we start first? And the first card I picked was Find Your Tribe. There we go. So I'll just run through it again for those who weren't here at the beginning. Find your tribe. Your spiritual tribe is out there. Once you find your tribe members, rejoice together, motivate each other, support each other and stick together. Share your accomplishments, hopes, desires and heartbreak. Praise each other and offer the kindest tough love when needed. There's strength in numbers. You're never really alone. And immediately I put that back in and pulled another one, and it's got bloody bunnies on it. More bunnies, for goodness sake. And I saw hares while I was out as well. Walked into the shop, 2 massive canvases right in front of me of crazy March hares. So hares are obviously trying to tell me something. And this is all about using food to nourish you. Have you been using food to numb you rather than nourish? Well, who hasn't? Mercury retrograde. If so, break that pattern today. Show yourselves, your cells, that you care by choosing healthy, wholesome foods made with love. Eat your veggies, make a green juice and toast your longevity. So I thought that was a really nice couple of cards to get. And I did say, you know, self-care, it's been a doozy. Where do we start? First, coffee, or, you know, green vegetables in this case. So that's a nice start to the, thank God that's over. That's my hair that I'm painting. I MacGyvered him together. I did that for you yesterday. What your Find the Tribe card said. Oh, awesome. You have to stick together. We've got each other, okay? We don't need all these people who are going to criticize us and moan at us and all that. Just strength in numbers. This is why we've got a forum. Use the forum. Use the forum, Luke. May the forum be with you. Anyway, yeah, that's my rabbit I've MacGyvered together from a couple of different pictures. That's a quick go back over what we did in the first few minutes when other people were late. I was late myself today. I got stuck in traffic because I couldn't find a gosh darn teacup. So, do we need to go back over tasseomancy? Has anybody got their teacups and stuff that didn't get a chance to do it last time? Or are you quite happy to wait until I actually do find a cup and saucer and we do it then? Anybody? You're happy to wait? Happy to wait? Okay, that's fine. We did do it once, and I will link that for anybody who's come here today expecting tasseomancy. We have done it once already, and the idea was that I'd do it today because I would have found a teacup and saucer by now, but I only got my car back on Tuesday, and I have been to every thrift shop in town today in the Potteries. I live in the English, in fact, the world capital of Victorian China. Any English pottery company, except the Ironbridge one, with, you know, the big clay jugs that you put ale and stuff in, the big brown clay jug. They're not from around here. They're from Cornwall. But everything else, Minton, Dalton, Staffordshire, Wedgwood, Emma flipping Bridgewater, you know, they're all from around here. Could I find a teacup and saucer in a thrift shop? No. So I'm going to have another go. Admittedly, it was at the last minute, but, you know, like I say, I only got my car back today on Tuesday, and I've been busy. So what are we going to do? Let me show you how yesterday's book turned out. I have posted it on Instagram. This is the one we did on YouTube yesterday, and this is how it turned out. So you can see that beautiful blue in daylight. Isn't it gorgeous? And that is the cobalt teal hue. Yeah, cobalt teal hue and primary cyan. Yeah, from the Deco Art Americanas. They've got some more of these paints coming out, and some of them are blacklight paints, and some of them are glitter paints, and some of them are metallic finish paints, and I'm getting them all. They're not out yet, but as soon as they're out, they're mine. Maddie, what are you crying about? Doors open, go play outside. So yeah, that's my wand page. And of course, once I've actually finished writing up, you guys will get to see the finished page. Now, I did also put a PDF up. I'm not sure whether to do it for patrons or do it for free and then hope that people want to pay for it. I don't know, it's a struggle, but I've put a PDF up that I put up quickly yesterday based on what we were talking about what do you put in a book of shadows. And it's all stuff that we've talked about before, but it was more of an introduction for people who aren't in our class. If you guys get a chance to go and have a look at it, it's in the coffee lounge. I think did I put it in the coffee lounge? Yes, I think I did. Free for members, $1 for patrons, free for anybody who's in a class, which is why I've put it in the coffee lounge. Because if you're in a class, you're in the coffee lounge. Yeah, if you could check it out, and bear in mind that it's like quite a big step down from what you're doing. It's like 2 years ago and one level down. And it's just for general kind of YouTube-ish stuff. Let me know what you think. Is it too much? Is it too little? Is it a good kind of general thing? Should I keep doing them? Is it a good idea? I would appreciate your feedback, because honestly, you guys guide what I do. We've got a really good group here now, and you know what you want and you know what you want to do. And if you guys say, well, hang on a minute, that's what we're doing, then I will stop, because I don't want you guys to feel like you've paid for it and then other people are getting it for free. But I don't think it is. I think it's way down the line from what you're doing. Another thing I'd like to do Saturday, and I'm giving you a heads up on this because I know some people won't want to be on camera, some people will be happy to, some people will come on audio and such. Saturday's coffee chat, we're going to do it as normal. It's going to be working out what we're going to do for April, which I've pretty much got sorted. And I think I'll slot this in here somewhere, but I might do it, like I said, I might do it as a pre-recorded thing that you guys get the full thing and then YouTube gets a short version on a Monday. I don't know. I might just do it as an extra for members or something. I kind of feel like if I'm doing something, I might as well do it on camera. Especially if I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm just MacGyvering. But also, I'm pretty sure I can do that, so it would essentially be a tutorial. And then I think, well, hang on a minute, if it's a tutorial, it should be in class. Oh, Lordy, this is what my brain's been like for the whole of Mercury retrograde. And then it's just been like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. I don't care. I've got bills to pay. you know. And then, yeah, since yesterday, I'm more positive about it. I'm like, no, I can do this. I need Carolyn. I need my Carolyn. So until I've got my KK back, or I can get hold of Tracy, who is busy doing a management degree, because she's not busy enough already. I'm relying on you guys to tell me what you think. Okay, keep me in line. Help keep me in line just till Carolyn gets back. All right. Anyway. I was looking for my glue because what I was going to do was show you how to get started on putting these books together, because that's a nice quick thing that we can do. You know, it's the end of the month, we're finishing things off, or trying to. That's a nice quick thing. But I can't find my big glue, so I'm going to have to hope that I've got enough glue in this little one to make it work. Oh, I put them down in the bottom drawer so they wouldn't get battered. I remember now. Here we go. Because I had to move my camera. Just seen news pop where the British Airways landed in Scotland instead of Germany, and people still don't believe in astrology. I know, right? Did you see that meme? I think that might have been what I was trying to send to you, you know, Luna. I was trying to find you on Instagram. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to find you on Instagram. I couldn't find you on Instagram because I couldn't remember your YouTube name. It's because the whole month, Facebook and Instagram have been up and down and up and down. And then yesterday, PayPal went down. PayPal, like the lifeblood of crafters everywhere. PayPal was offline. And it's like, it's this chap going, oh, everything's down. And sorry, you don't believe in Mercury retrograde because you were saying Mercury retrograde isn't real? Okay. And anyway, go on, let's get to this. Right. See, all this backed up energy I've had that's been all Eeyore all month is suddenly going boom. And now I'm like, whoa, whoa there, Charlie, whoa. Hang on, I've got to get my February book, which I'm still kind of doing bits in. Oh, that's cool too. We'll do that one. Right, here we go. Ooh. Okay. Let's clear some space. That can go down there. I don't need that till later. My book of shadows can go in the drawer. I use that later. That one can go in there. I don't need that one till next month. My journal, I've done bugger all. Honestly, this month I have done absolutely bugger all. I'm hoping to sit down on Sunday, have a chat with my mum on Facebook and just journal while I'm doing it, because I've done my journal. I've been making stuff in my journal. You know, I've been doing pretty pages and putting in photos and printing stuff off and things like that, but I haven't written in it. I've set things up and it looks cute. I made that as a photo tip in so that I can write on the back if I want to, and if not, I can stick another photo on there or do a sketch or something, you know. I've got stuff. I've got some quotes. This is a good quote. This is from Amity Bloom. That's the girl whose name I couldn't remember the other day, who does all the boho stuff. She's amazing. And, oh, you've got to start over on Instagram. Oh, God. You finally got back into your Instagram and everything's gone. Oh, God. That sounds about right. Well, when you get back over there, buzz me, because there was something I was trying to send you on Instagram and I can't remember what it was now. If it was a meme, I'm sorry. But I don't think it was. I think it was something that I thought, oh, I need to share that with Luna. She'd love that. Instagram kept locking you out, but it didn't scrap anything. You had to set your password 4 times. Yeah, I did. I reset my password twice, and then I thought, bugger this. I can post on Maddie's account. That'll do. It would let me into Maddie's account. It wouldn't let me into my account. And I'm like, it's the same email. How can you not? Amity Bloom. Go check her out. She's so sweet. And the funny thing was, I posted this quote because I loved what she said. It just rang so true. She's got a very similar attitude to journaling as I do. You know, don't stress about it. If it's causing you stress, then you're not doing it right. Don't stress about getting it right. Just do it. And if it stresses you out, you're not doing it right. Do something different until it doesn't stress you out. And she's so happy and cheerful. She's like, she's one of those people that I like her, but I just, if she was around me, I'd be like, will you please just sit down while I finish my coffee? Her quote, anyway, what she said was, this is just a book filled with paper. What really makes it a journal is your memories and what you write in it. Repping the don't hoard your notebooks crowd, right? I think that's lovely because there's so many people. I bought a really nice book of shadows and it's far too nice to write in. Well, it's just a book of shadows. It's just a book filled with paper until you write something in it. It's not a book of shadows until you start using it. And then this one from Kellyanne Maddox, my hero. I'm going to be Kellyanne Maddox when I grow up. Daily spiritual advice. And meditate every day for 20 minutes. If you don't have time to meditate for 20 minutes, you need to meditate for a full hour. I had to listen to that a couple of times before I got it. And then I was like, oh yeah. Ostara Bunny. I made my little Ostara hair into a free printable. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Has anybody seen the free printable? No, because you don't check the forums, do you? Jen saw it. Yeah. Jen checks the forums. I know Jen checks the forums because I can see the list of people who check the forums and Jen's always on the forums. She must have it set as a homepage because every time she goes in, and Luna Lovegood, that's right. I knew you'd like Luna. I did Ostara and I did Luna Lovegood. They're both in the coffee lounge, free printable. One's a colouring page. One's this little cute bunny. It was a little late for Ostara, but I thought you might like it for your journals. I'm actually doing a sketch thing. So every single day, you liked her specs. Yeah, I did too. I was trying to figure out how to draw her eyes. I drew the specs with all the spangly bits, and then I was trying to figure out how her eyes looked. And I thought, hang on a minute, she doesn't have, you can't see her eyes. She's got those weird kaleidoscope things. So I just drew spokes and it looked really good. I was like, yeah, that'll do. So I'm going to colour mine in as well. I've got her printed here. She didn't print the first time, so I printed her again. So there's Luna. She's for Ravenclaw Pride Day. So I'm going to colour her in. I sprayed her with fixative because she's inkjet printed. And of course, if you try and paint or get wet inkjet, the ink runs. So I sprayed her with fixative and I'll see how that works. I don't think it will work well enough for this black writing, but it should work well enough for the lines. I will let you know. I've added lots of bits and pieces and cute stuff to my journal and stuck things in and edited bits, you know, and figured out what I wanted to do with stuff. I turned this into a green garden page because it reminded me of the beginning of Penny Dreadful where she's in the garden with her friend. I found this cute succulent stamp and things to go on my envelope, but as you can see, I haven't written. Oh, and I put that on the back because this is going to be in the middle of the book. The Nargles did it, yeah. I've got that. I've got it on a pin somewhere, on a badge. I think it's on my, I've got Ravenclaw Head Girl and I've got The Nargles Ate My Homework. Yeah, this is going to be in the middle of the book. So it's going to be like this. This is January, February, which we're going to do in a minute. So here's January, February, looking cool. And that one is going to be basically that page there. So I thought it would be quite nice to have that, because I decided I didn't like that green on my Filofax, but it seemed a shame not to use it. And I had loads of this lace left and thought, you know what? It's going on my Victorian journal. Didn't make it to the Victorian Filofax, but it's in the Victorian journal. Because what else am I going to use it for? I mean, come on. Anyway, so yeah, it's chunky. It just needs lots of writing in now. But I'm hoping to spend Sunday writing. I do tend to do that. And I've got lots of sketches to print out and stuff like that, and photos. So yeah, going to be spending Sunday working in my journal. In the meantime, I have sewn up my January book with using my template, and my February book. I'm still writing in both of these as well, but that's okay. You know, nobody says you have to finish your 1 month journal in 1 month, do they? I've been known to still be writing January stuff in June. So it's not unusual for me at all to be doing that. That's going to need restitching back into there, but that's okay. I'll deal with that. So the idea with this is, oh, watch me not be able to find that brown stuff now. No, it's here. It's here. I put it here. Here we go. This is a lot thicker than I would normally use. As you can see, it's more like you get on tote bags and duffel bags, but it is cotton canvas. This is more the stuff that I would normally use, the soft stuff, but it doesn't really matter too much. It's just, you know, it's a lot thicker. You can see that it's a heck of a lot thicker. This is a good 1/8 of an inch, whereas this is like fabric thickness. So I would have preferred this, but the only place you can get this soft stuff is from Chinese sellers. And at the time I was looking for it, it was the middle of Chinese New Year and all the Chinese sellers were off. So I haven't been able to get any yet, but this will do. Like I say, it's a bit sturdier than I would like. However, the principle is going to be fairly simple. We've already made the cover for our book, and this is the cover that I made on YouTube. And this cover is already not stitched to the spine. I've said about this several times. If you can do that, see, between the inside and the outside of a book, or at least with a pencil, then it is a spine that will lie flat. Most people, when they make books like this, they just sew through this spine like that, as if it's one piece. And then, of course, when you open it, the thickness of the paper determines whether you can open the book flat or not. So you're always going to have, if you've got this side open, this side is always going to pull up. So you're always going to have paper that goes like that. It's just the way the physics works. Try it sometime and you'll see what I mean. So in order for it to allow the paper to move this way, this has to be supple. So this has to be movable. Okay? And any normal book, in fact, I can show you on this one because this one does it beautifully. Any normal book that has this row of material on a stitched spine and then a big gap down the back, when you open it, no matter how thick the book is, like you'd look at this book and go, that's never going to lie flat. Well, guess what? It does. And this is why. Because the spine, the fabric spine here, get something that's not black so you can actually see. The fabric spine here bends with the pages and the outer spine bends out of the way. Now, if these two were stuck together, that wouldn't bend. It would only open to there. So your pages are only ever going to be that far apart. That's when it doesn't lie flat. And that's why when you see people do junk journals where they've sewn it to the back of the spine, and you know, they normally make the spine with a thin spine, thin piece of card, 2 front pieces, bit of a gap, stick some fabric on, fold it in half, sew the things on, and Bob's your uncle. And then when they open their books, instead of lying flat, they stick up like this, and you can't get your hand in there, and they can't open the book to show you what's going on. That is why. So that's why we're going to avoid that by, in this instance, sticking this tape to the canvas here to hold the book on, but not onto the back panel. Are you with me so far? You with me so far, Simkins? I think that's from The Holiday. I think that's where I picked that up from. I don't know. Now, this is much, much thicker than I would like. It is not going to work as well, but it will do. If you can possibly get hold of that thin canvas, or even if you're, you know, if you're fairly good with the sewing machine and you get some of this and you fold it in half and turn it into a little strap of material. If you're good with making straps of material, do that. I would have done that if I'd thought of it, but I didn't. The next time we make one, which is going to be when I put my Victorian books together, I'm going to do the whole cover and bind the book at the same time so that you can see how to put these straps underneath this material. That will be fun. And we will literally bind the books into the material as opposed to doing the material cover and then binding the books into it. We will do the whole thing in one go. But this is a nice, easy way to do it if you're not sure how big your books are going to be, if you don't know how much material you're going to want, if you need to do it in bits because you've never done it before. This is a nice, easy step-by-step way. So you make your cover, you make your books, your signatures, you fill them up as you go, and when they're finished, you can turn them into a book using some straps. Now, you can also do this without the back panel. So if you've got 2 of these and you've got a front and back piece of card like this, heavy, obviously, you need something durable, like a book cover type cardboard or something at least covered. You can do it so that you put the straps across and you can see the straps. That's quite a common way of doing it. You'll have seen books made like that, where you've got the straps going across the back like that, and it's an open spine. It's quite a common way of doing it. So there's lots of ways you can play with this. This is the most complex way, and by taking bits out and leaving bits out, you can decide what it looks like at the end. This is kind of faux bound, if you like. And it's incredibly easy to do this. Incredibly easy. You're going to be amazed how easy it is. We are basically going to take this, thread it through there, stick it down, boom, done. That's the theory. Well, it's not just a theory, it's practice. I've done it before. But that's how it works. Now, what you won't be able to do is do this and then immediately use your book. You need to remember that your book is going to need time to dry. You're going to need to use heavy duty glue, and you're going to need to give it time to cure. Which is why I was looking for my heavy duty 6000 glue. I've got a new tube of it somewhere. This is the only one I've got. So I might have to do one side and then do the other side later. Now you've got your template and you've got your up and down. So on here, you simply put your template along the edge of where your book is. Mine happens to be along that line. Make sure it's centered on the fabric. And all you need to do is make a mark in a color you can see. You won't be able to see this, but you're marking where the holes are for the 1 inch. Remember, we did a 1 inch apart plus one mark either side. 1 and 2 bits of an inch, whatever the markings are on your ruler, to account for the thickness of this. Would Mod Podge work? It might, but it might not. No, you're better with bookbinding glue. You're much better with a heavy duty glue, because if you think about the weight, if you think about the mechanics, oh, I can't get this damn thing off because these scissors don't cut properly. There we go. If you think about the mechanics, this is going to be put under stress every time the book opens. So you want a heavy duty glue. That's why I'm using E6000. So I'm going to basically put my straps across here. I'm going to have about 2 inches, I think, will be enough across here. The width of the spine plus another 2 inches. Okay, so I'm going to need 3 of those. And where's my ruler? Come on. Oh, my tooth's starting to hurt again as well. Here's my ruler. Let's put my template back up there before I lose it. I managed to hold on to it for 6 weeks. Okay, so, ooh, do I want 2 inches or do I want 3 inches? Have I underestimated? Let's do 3 inches, I think, if I've got enough. Let's do 3 inches. So 3 inches plus the width of the spine plus 3 inches is going to be there. I've got more than enough to do that. So that altogether is 8 inches. So 2-inch spine, 3 inches either side. That's for mine. Yours will depend on the width of your spine. If you're only doing one signature, you might only need 5 inches. What I do need to do is get my decent scissors, because I can't cut this with them, and I need to find my heaty thing, which is over there. 1 second. Oops, let's put you back in there so I don't fall over you. Oh, ow. Okay. What did I come over here for? Oh my Lord. Heaty thing.
Scissors.
Heaty thing and scissors. Okay. Scissors are already over there, apparently. Heaty thing should be in there, and it's not. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? Bloody marvellous. Oh, come on. Seriously? Found the dog brush, I suppose that's a start. It must be in my box over here. Can you hear Happy Chicken? She's got a friend now. Did I tell you? Lonely Chicken has a friend. She's Happy Chicken now. She makes lots of noise. Ah. Scissors. There we go. There's one. And can you hear her? Bless. I quite like listening to her now. She doesn't sound like she's going to top herself. Oh, here's Heaty thing, look. Heaty thing. See? You get me. So now I can get rid of all this trim, because this will just keep fraying until you stop it. The canvas one is not so bad. The canvas one, you just stick a bit of glue on or you sew it. Just run the ends through your sewing machine and back again, and it'll be fine. But this slightly plasticky one, you've got to do the old plastic elastic trick where you just singe the ends. Don't put the ends into the fire. We don't need to burn it. We just need to singe it. See, now it's gone kind of blobbly. I can't describe it any other way. You'll see it. You can see all the little frayed bits go blobbly. And then it won't fray anymore. So we want 8 of those. No, we want 8 inches of those. We want 3 of them, 8 inches long. Shut up, Mara. I can see you chuckling at me there. And what I'm going to do is each time I cut it, straight away, I'm going to deblobble it with my heaty thing. I'm very technical here, see? Try not to set off the fire alarms while you do this. So there's that one. That one won't come undone now. It's basically just melting the elastane in the plastic. Okay, and there's the second one. Across there. I've lost my nice big kitchen scissors. I need to find them because they're so much better. Like I've said before, you don't need to stick this in the flame. Oops, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. You don't need to actually stick this in the flame for it to work. You just need to get it in the heat of the flame. There we go. If you've never done this before, try it on a piece of elastic like you use on a Midori. You know the bits that keep fraying? Use it on one of them and you'll see what it does. You've still got construction. Oh my God, we've got new people moved in over the back. We've got new people moved in next door. And the other side, I've got decorators in. So since 8 o'clock this morning, it was just banging. By 9:30, I was like, right, that's it. I'm going into town. I'm going to go and see if I can find a teacup. Just can't stand the noise anymore. I was all set for a nice morning of painting because I've got some backgrounds to do for a commission, but no. There we go. So that should do that. Let me think one more time if I can check. Oh, is that my... Look what I found. See, it's always worth checking one more time. How about them apples? This is okay, but it's only got a little bit left in it. So I'm basically using a cocktail stick to dig bits out for when I need to stick gems and stuff on. And I keep it upside down, but I desperately needed a new one. And look, there it is. And I found out that this thing, you don't actually put this thing on. You only put this thing on when you need it. It's the fine nozzle. I was watching a YouTuber because I was trying to figure out how to unblock it because it sticks plastic. So if it dries inside this, you can't unblock it. I'm like, well, what do you do to unblock it? And he said, you don't unblock it. What you do is you put it on when you need it and you squeeze it through. And then as soon as you're finished, while it's still wet, you wash it in hot water and put it back in its thing to protect the nozzle. That's what that's for. It's not so that you can put the lid on. I was like, how did I not know this? Why doesn't anybody tell you these things on the instruction packet? And so on. Right, anyway, let's get on. Okay, so can you essentially see what's going to happen now? We're going to stick one side, we're going to slide the books on, and then we're going to stick the other side. Okay, now if we do that in that order, what's going to happen? Obviously, allowing it to dry and all that, but what's going to happen? Think about the mechanics of it while I mark up my bit of thing here. I just want to make sure I don't actually need it, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Any ideas? If we put our books on in that gap there, they're going to slide around. No matter how thick our books are, because at the spine, no matter how thick your books are at the ends, at the spine, they're only that thick. And if you put that thick into 2 inches, you've got 1.5 inches spare. So they're going to slip around. So what we also have to do is to stick this in the middle between the 2 signatures. So each signature can only move a little bit of 1 inch. 1/3 of an inch, 2/3 of an inch. I can't really do the math. You got 2 inches, okay? We're going to stick a bit in the middle, and then these 2 1/2-inch bits of spine are going to be able to do that next to each other, as opposed to that along the whole of the spine. Yes? You'll see as we go. Pro tip, make sure you've got your books the right way round. Ask me how I know. This is definitely January's book. And while I've got the glue out, I'm going to stick that bit of eyelash fibre down because it's driving me insane. And I might as well. Stick, damn you. There. Okay, so I've marked the line. I can feel under here where the board is. It happens to be along this line of fabric. And I'm going to put it in between the 2 marks and in line here. And all of that bit is going to get stuck down. So in order to make sure that it's even, the best thing to do, I think, is I'll turn it over and I'll stick glue on here. Stick glue on here. I swear these glue things are half full. You want it as far up to the edge as you can manage, and then put it along both edges if that's all you want, if that's all the glue you have. If you've got enough glue, put it all over. Woof, this stuff stinks. Because you want this to be a really good bond. You do not want it coming apart on you later. That I can take off in a minute, as long as I don't. Actually, I'll stick it underneath. Then you won't even see it. Okay, so be very careful not to stick your fingers to it. We go in on the line and in between the 2 marks and try and make sure it's parallel and stick it down. Stick it down, my love, stick it down. Stick it down. I think that's stuck, don't you? Okay, now this stuff, this heavy duty glue, bookbinding glue, all that kind of stuff, it takes 24 hours to cure properly. It will be tacky stuck normally within an hour. Within a few minutes, it's tacky stuck, so you can unstick it without a lot of effort. Within an hour, it will be heavy stuck enough that you could you know, I can open my book and show you what I'm doing, and I can manipulate it as long as I'm careful. And within 24 hours, it ain't going anywhere ever again. Literally. So be careful with it as you're working with it. You don't want to have it coming apart on you. Bookbinding is one of the few things where it's worth taking your time with it, because the better you do it and the better bond you get, the better your book will hold up. And I do that even though I am fully capable of repairing a book if it comes apart later. I would rather do it properly the first time than have to redo it again later, because who's got the patience for that, right? If you've got to do it again, it's never going to happen, is it? So here's our second one. Going on the edge in between the two. Try and make sure it's as parallel as you can get it. Use a ruler in between these two to get a really good idea of at least it's parallel with that one. And stick it down. Stick it down. So this one is not, see, I can lift that one up. It's not stuck yet. Might need to put bands around it to keep it in place, or put heavy books on it or something. So this one, same again. Now, as you can see, a better way of doing this would have been to do it as we made the book, and to put these straps either under that fabric or as part of the fabric in the first place. Either way would have been better than just sticking it on top. But, you know, if you make it coordinate like I have, you can make it a feature. Okay, line this one up with the bottom there and stick it down. I could even edge these with a bit of gold trim or something if I wanted to, just to make it look like they're supposed to be there. Then they're decorative, they're a feature. Okay, so that hasn't stuck yet. So that now needs to be left to dry with something heavy on it for a minute. So I'm going to whop my Book of Shadows down on top of it, since there's no exposed glue, and put it to one side and let that dry. Hopefully it will dry quite quickly because I've got the window open. Okay, put the lid back on your glue till you need it, because we all know what will happen if we don't do that, don't we? Clean the glue off the edge while I've got some spare paper here. Okay. What else have we got? What are we doing for time? Oh, it's only 20 past. I thought it would be cute to make something a little bit more intricate for our books. And I found this. This is a birthday card, I think. Oh no, Christmas card. Look how cleverly it's made. This is decorative. Isn't that clever? It's like a gatefold envelope almost. And you could have it as an envelope. You could have it as a thing that opened that way. You could have it as a fold out on a page with a tuck spot. You can have it so it opens out fully on a page. Lots of different uses for something like this. And when you actually look at it, it's incredibly simple. In fact, they've even put a flip inside it. So you could make this as like a little notelet if you wanted to. Isn't that cute? Should we make one? Yes, says Mara. Mara says yes to everything. She's always up for whatever I want to make. She's there. She's like, yes, let's do it. I've got some paper somewhere. Let me go and grab it because it'll be perfect for this. And I'll get my hole punch while I'm at it. There we go. So I'm going to use that. And, oh, there's another one I can do. It's amazing what you can come up with when you actually do need to do stuff. Okay. Here we go. So this is really, really simple. Let me show you how to deconstruct it. Because to my brain, I went, oh, that's easy. And I know a lot of people don't have a brain like mine that can deconstruct stuff. So I don't want you to think I'm treating you like idiots, but you know, some people can do maths. I can't. Some people could probably estimate how wide that is. Not me, but I can tell you how it's made. If you look at this as a fold out, that is almost exactly the same width, which tells me that this was folded in and then this was cut out there. And then this was folded in and this is cut out there. So that's a border punch basically. So if you've got a border punch, use a border punch. If you haven't got a border punch, cut it slightly in from the width that you think it's going to be. So fold it in 3 and then cut a sliver off each edge and maybe round the corners or something like that, or do a corner punch or something, whatever it is that works for you. I happen to have a border punch, so I'll show you how to do it with a border punch. Now, when you look at this page, it's actually a very long rectangle, and it's a golden rectangle. No, it's not quite a golden rectangle. I'm sorry, I lied. If it was a golden rectangle, this part would be square, but it's not quite a golden rectangle. It's a bit shorter. Nonetheless, it's still a rectangular piece of paper folded in 3. And guess what? I've got rectangular pieces of paper. And if you haven't got a rectangular piece of paper, get a piece of 12 by 12 and chop it in half, and then you've got 2 rectangular pieces of paper. These are quite handy, actually. These are 15 by 30. They're 6 by 12s. And they're like £2. And I picked this one up the other week because it's got some really nice vintage looking. I actually picked it up for this because I thought this would look good in my current journal, but it's also got some very Victorian type. It's got some writing, it's got some heavy print, but nothing you couldn't, I mean, that's a bit gaudy, but it's nice heavy paper and you could use it for pockets, which is what I'm missing. I can print my own paper, but I print it on 120 weight and this is 180 because it's almost like cardstock. It's not quite cardstock weight, but it's really pretty. And I was thinking I might make, let's see, if this is 30 centimetres, by the time it's folded in 3, it's going to be 10 centimetres wide. So it's going to be 15 by 10, which is 6 by 4. So it's going to fit in a regular 6 by 4 envelope. So I was thinking maybe I would turn this into a Mother's Day card. Because when else am I going to use love and cupids? I mean, come on. I don't think I'm ever going to use love and cupids, ever. Actually, I don't know that my mum would like that if I used love and cupids. I like this because if you folded this in, you would essentially have the blank bit and then these bits would be on the front on these panels. That's kind of cool. So I like that it's got the big patch in the middle. This is quite nice. It's quite floral. I like that first one, I think. I think that's nice, kind of grungy Grungy reds and pinks. That'd be nice for a Mother's Day card, I think. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is divide it in 3. And it's not 12 inches, it's 30 centimetres, which is slightly off, but in fact, it's not even that, it's A4, but never mind. So I'll do it in inches because it'll be easier to see. So I'm just going to position it so that it's a 1/4 inch either end, and then I'm going to mark where my folds are going to be. Where's my, there he is. So 12, it's going to be 4 and 8. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3. That's right, 4 and 8. 4 and 8. And this is where my really handy cutting mat comes in handy, because I can line it up with the lines. I can line it up with the lines there and the lines there, and it'll be straight. And I only have to mark off one edge. How cool is that? So I'm going to score the edge. Like that. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So where's my mark? There it is. I really need one of those big scoring boards, I think, that, you know, like the Tim Holtz ones. I'm sure that would be much easier. I've seen Nick the Booksmith use hers, and she's so fast at scoring things. And like, oh, 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here, and boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, that's faster than I can do it, madam. Okay, there's my scoring line. And score. Now, so far, this is not dissimilar to the 3-fold envelopes that we did. Do you remember? Fold it in, turn it down, and you've got a little, looks like a little shirt, right? So we're sort of on the same wavelength. But what we're going to do next is turn it over, and we're going to fold both of these in half. So 4 inches, halfway is 2. And I can do that one. 4 inches, halfway is 2. So these folds are going to fold backwards. Okay, so get it even, get it straight, and there it is. Line it up. And score it. Same on this side. Line it up. Go out of the way. Line it up. Get it straight. And score it. It's easier if you keep your ruler on the score line and fold it against the ruler. Okay, so now what you've got is your folds in, but each of those folds folds back on itself. Folds in, folds back on itself. Okay? Very cool. Mine don't quite meet in the middle because my paper wasn't quite long enough, but that's okay. You can fiddle that if you want to put like a lace edge on it or something. That will cover that gap, but I don't really care. So I'm going to do my border punch on the edges. This is the one and only border punch I own. I like the design, so I use it a lot. I don't really see the need for any more. They mostly tend to be too floral for me, but I like this one. This one is very universal. It matches everything. And this is a German brand. It's Wassen Creative. You can find them on Amazon. And then I'm going to do this edge. Oh, I need to empty my little block, I think. I use it a lot, can you tell? There we go. So I'm thinking I'll make this into a Mother's Day card, which, you know, okay, it's not journaling, but it's still making stuff. But you could make this for just go in your journal. You could use it as a pocket. You could use it as an envelope. You could use it as a journal page. If you sewed this part in, you could have 2 fold out pieces. There's lots of different uses for something this like this, and you could even use it, like I said, as an envelope in and of itself, for which you'd probably have to glue it to a page or something, or glue it down the sides or stitch it or something. But I find with stuff like this, once you've got it folded and you know how to make the basic template, finding different ways to use it is not the issue. Okay, that's not quite to the edge. Let's just do one more punch. There we go. Now it's at the edge. Now with this design, you can see it kind of doesn't cut properly to the edge. Can you see there? So I usually cut this bit off so it's rounded. So I just trim it to wherever the design allows, because I think that looks much more pleasing to the eye, is to have it like that. So same this edge. That is why I always start in the middle, because then you get the same misalignment on each edge and on both sides. So eventually it'll match. Rogue-ivering at its finest. If you can not only rogue-iver it, but make it match on both sides and both edges, you're doing pretty well. There you go. I think that's really cool. Now, I don't know why, but when I look at this paper, I feel like it needs to be that way round. For some reason, I like the dark in this corner. It just feels like that's where it should be. That's probably backwards to the way everybody else wants it. But that's how I feel it should be. So now we've got a lovely border on each edge. And now what we've got to do is make our little tuck thing. Now, if you're lazy, you could just grab a square bit of something and stick it on there and be done with it. Okay? But if you look at this, it's actually a cutout. Now, if we cut it out the half width that they've done it, it's not going to be quite wide enough because they've got a bit wider card. I'm thinking if I want it to come to about there, it's going to need to be, let's see, how wide do I want it to come over here? I want it to come over about 1 inch, plus that gap. So 1.25 inches is going to be for me. So I'm going to come into here, and on this line here, this fold, I'm going to measure across 1.25 inches. Mark that off. I think I'll mark it with pencil on this occasion so that I can work out how low I want it to be as well. This is erasable pencil. 1.25 inches. So that's how wide it's going to be. Now I just need to work out that length. I like to go with 1 inch and 1 inch. So it's 1.25 inches across. So I'm going to do 1.25 inches up. If I can find the blue line I just marked. Just do it in blue, she said. Be able to see that, she said. Did I even mark it? 1.25 inches. There we go. So I'm going to go down that line like that. I'm going to come 1.25 inches down there, and I'm going to come 1.25 inches down there. And those two corners are going to be these two corners here. All right. So if you compare and contrast, I've measured how far across I want it to come, about 1.25 inches, about 1 inch here. So I had to account for the 1/4 inch gap because it's going to fold out from that edge. So 1.25 inches. So going round this corner, we're going 1.25 inches in. And then just because it's me, I've done 1.25 inches down and 1.25 inches up. So these two corners are these two corners here. Okay. So this is this bit before we cut it out. Now I'm going to do along the edge here, along this line, I'm going to do 1.25 inches along the line because we want to make sure that we cut this vertical. So I'm going to do 1.25 inches and 1.25 inches. And then I'm going to remark this one because that's not 1.25 inches. There we go. Okay. Measure twice, cut once. Now we're going to need a cutty thing. And all we're going to do is cut between those two dots. So from that dot that is the corner dot down to the dot that we've marked here on this crease. And I'm still not happy with those being in the right place, so I'm just going to check it again. No, I didn't think that was quite right. Somehow I managed to mark it slightly off on both edges. Okay, now it looks better. Okay. Come up towards the bend and then come from the bend back the other way. That way you'll get a nice sharp edge. Same on this one, which I did actually do right. Do it that way. Oops. And then do it back the other way. And what we should have is 2 slits. Now we're going to join the slits together. We're going to do it exactly the same way. So get your 2 dots lined up, come from one corner towards the other corner, and come from this corner back up the other way. And you should have a nice even thingy. Yes? You with me, Simpkins? I messed this one up, so I'm going to trim this one up, but that's nice and easy. I can just, because this is open, I can get my scissors in there. Oops. Of course, they did theirs on a machine, so they managed to do theirs so there was no crease on this bit, which is pretty cool. It'd be very difficult to do that handmade. You would have to measure all this out first before you creased it, and then cut it all out, and then go back in and fold it right and crease it, and that would be a nightmare. It's much easier to do it this way. Now, to get the other edge of this, what we need is to bring this out, sorry. And of course, it's not going to be 1 1/4 inches this side. It's only 1 1/4 inches this side, because we want 1 inch flap, plus I've got 1/4 inch gap. Sorry, I've moved my head again, haven't I? Okay, so it's not going to be 1 1/4 inches this side, it's only going to be 1 inch. Only needed the inch to cover that bit. So that's nice and easy. I'm just going to sketch it in by lining this up with that line and sketching in like that. Line it up at the edge, sketch it in. And there is our border. So we can now do lots of things with that border. We could just edge it. We could cut something out and put it in there. We could put a drawing in there or something to the right size. We could tear some paper out. We could put some book paper in. All sorts of things we can do with that. You could even, if you wanted to, cut some slits in this side. In fact, I might even do that. I like that idea. Cut some slits in this side, round off this bit, and then do it so that it tucks in on this side. So it literally becomes like a little tuck. Or just cut this as a slit so that it slits into there and it holds itself closed. You could do that too. But I'm quite happy with it like this. I'm going to do this bit. I'm quite annoyed that it didn't fold right there. I don't know how I managed that, because I definitely divided it in 3. Anyway. So, yep, that works as the template. And that works as the card. Cool? I think it's cool. It could have been better, but, you know, I've never made one before. I could just see how to do it. I didn't say I was good at it. I'm going to bone fold this because I am going to use it as a card. So as I'll make it properly, it's not just going in my journal. Okay, and I think I might put, what do I have hanging around? Whoops, these are my box of bits from my journal here. What have I got hanging around? I've got a bit of drawing paper. Of course, I've got these contrasting papers here I can use as well. So I'm just looking to see if I've already got something in here that I could use up. Of course, this lovely pad of paper from that book, that's going to be nice for the inside, isn't it? That beautiful cream colour, I like that. Use that. I know this is really my mum's style, so I don't think. Ooh. 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 It's what you can find when you rummage. Ooh. My mum, unlike me, is quite pink and flowery. She likes soft colours and rose gold and things like that. I don't. But I just found this, which kind of matches that, but it almost matches it a bit too well, actually. I want a bit more contrast than that. But I just found these. I don't know why there's butterflies on a steampunk thing, but those butterflies are just about the right size to go on there. This will be nice for the inside. So I'm going to take a piece of this out. The other side of that one. I don't think I'll need any more than that. Okay. I think that will be pretty. Inside there. Let's do it that way. So pencil needs to be about that long and about that wide. And we'll see if our book's cooked yet. Oh. I'll add a bit of lace to this as well and stuff like that. Once I've got the basics down. You know, decorating is easy. You know how to decorate. You don't need me to tell you how to decorate. You can do that on your own, to your own taste, or whoever you're making things for. If you're making a card for Mother's Day, of course it's Mother's Day here. I don't know if it's Mother's Day in America. It's Mother's Day this weekend here. Did I pull my corner rounder out? I thought I did. Did I put the damn thing away again? I did, look. So I'm going to round this corner. Sometimes sometimes with these corner rounders, you have to put 2 thicknesses of paper in. If your paper's too thin, it'll just bend it, it won't cut it. See that cut then? There we go. That's better. I might put a little bit of lace or something across there. But either way, it's going to go. Where's my Aleen's? Did I not bring it over? Oh, mother of pigeons. Hang on. Oh, I've just had another really good idea as well. Oh, I'm all go today. Okay. Of course, you could put this through the printer or something if you want a verse on it or something. You could throw this bit through the printer before you stick it down. My mother would be most put out if I put something through the printer that I'd handmade, because, you know, likes my writing. She'll say, "Don't you do your hand lettering anymore then?" So yeah, I think that would be nice with maybe a bit of lace that sticks out the top. I think that would be kind of cool. I also think it would be nice. I probably should have thought of this before I stuck it down, but I think it'd be nice if I do this edging on this too. I think that'd be cute. So let's do that. For a little bit, it got stuck, but that's okay. I don't mind tears and misdone bits in a handmade item. It's when it's done my machine and it's still not perfect that it bugs me. If you can't get a machine to do it perfectly, then what the hell are you doing, you know? There we go. So now we've got that far. I like the cream. So I think what I'm going to do is put a bit of that cream on each edge. I'm going to try and make it look like I meant it to be like that by design. All right. Okay, so. Oh. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cut this. Give it a go. There we go. I'm going to stick that down and find some glue. I'm just going to stick it along this edge where you can see the so that bit's nice and straight, so that'll be all right there. The neon Pritt stick. You can see where the glue is, right? Trim that off. Yeah, you're 2 hours late, Rach. So yeah, you've missed a lot. And if you say to me, is it going to be available on Ning or YouTube later? I'm going to scream. So don't ask me that. Yes, it will be available on both later, as always. This neon green Pritt stick is something else, isn't it? Crikey. I didn't realise it was quite so neon. I've never used it in daylight before. It is literally day glow, like woof, in your face. Okay, you've done that side. I want to do this side. Chop off the excess. And smoosh. I'm such a messy gluer. How do I get to be so messy when I'm gluing? Okay, that's better. I like that with the, it matches now. It was bugging me because I could see the cream through here, but it was white here and here. It looks better now. It's all cream, I think. So I think the next step is to put something here, and I'm tempted to use the cream again, but I don't want to. I think it would be too contrasty, and that's not quite contrasty enough. No, I think I need one of these coordinating papers or something, or even, because I pulled this out because I thought, hey, we could make an envelope. Maybe I can find something in here that would make a nice contrasty bit on the front that would be pretty, because my mum likes this kind of stuff, like pretty pink flowers and things. This is pretty. That's lovely. A bit too pink. I want red. I definitely want more of a red than a pink. I could get away with a reddish pink if it's that kind of reddish pink. It's definitely more of a brownish red than a reddish pink. So let's put that there. So we've got a guide for our colours. Oh, see, that's nice. That kind of matches. It looks very pink there, but it's actually this reddish brown. There's a bigger panel of it. We actually don't need a very big panel. That would work. Ooh! Ooh, look how pretty. That's too big though, I think. Wonder if we could stick it on so that it went outside. It's too big. Maybe I need to make another one that's bigger. That would be nice in there, wouldn't it? Am I going to end up making another one that's bigger? Keeping this one for myself. That's really pretty. This would make a beautiful envelope. This kind of stuff would be gorgeous as an envelope. Oh, have we got a bit of vellum with something pretty on it? That's a bit too blue, isn't it? Let's see. Got to be something in here that's going to match. Come on. Look at all these colours and patterns. There's got to be something. There has to be. It's kind of nice. It's a bit drab though. Something a bit bolder. Ooh, it's let's chug our engines out the back time again. Oof, that's nice. Come on, there's got to be something. There's got to be something. There's got to be something. Oh, page 1. No, not quite. Ooh, got that little vignette there. That's pretty. Will that fit? That'll fit. A pretty little vignette there. I like that. What's on the back? Nothing to worry about because it's bright pink. Let me keep this marked just in case this doesn't work. Okay. So it's going to go on here. It's going to be that sort of height. So if I cut it along there. Let's cut it with the edge just to it's not going to go any higher than that. It's not going to be any wider than that. So chop the paper down so it's a bit smaller. You can see what we're working with. Okay, so if I cut it just above the glass, it won't look like a shelf. It will just look like glass. If I cut it just to the side of that mirror, it will be exactly the right width. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Dost thou not? Okay. Interesting scrap for collage later. And then, so that's if that'll fit on there like that. And then it needs to be, oh, I'm not going to be able to see that. Just there. And let's see how that looks. Okay. That's cute. I like it. It looks slightly wonky. Why does it look slightly wonky? Is this wonky? I need my quilting ruler really, don't I? That is very slightly wonky. That's why it looks a little bit off. It's straight on that corner. Okay, let's get this bit straight and then we can fix the rest of it. It only has to be like a millimetre off and it doesn't quite look right. There we go. Oh, macOS Sierra update. Why are you updating Sierra? What? No. No, go away. Didn't ask you to do that. Let's not just pretend we did. Somewhere along the line, I've got this tiny little bit out. So I'm just fixing. There we go, now it's straight. I like that, it needs an edging. So I'm going to trim just a tiny little bit off each edge. And I'm going to erase all these pencil sketch marks so I knew where everything went. And that's going to go on there. Make sure we get it the right way up. Pretty, I like that. Just needs an edging. And I think what I'm going to do is use my copper acrylic. I think that'll look really pretty. And I want a thin brush, flat brush, there we go. Okay. So I'm just going to get a bit of acrylic. This is the copper. It goes a really nice, shiny, metallic copper, but it's a very warm tone. It's almost this colour. So I'm going to just run some of, whoops, too much. I really need my glasses, Mitzi. Checking. Everything's blurry. I think what I might do is get an eye test. I'm due for a free eye test. And then what I might do is get my prescription and see if I can get glasses online that are cheaper than my optician. I know they don't like you doing that, but really can't afford 120 quid for a pair of glasses from my optician when I can get them online for 25 quid for 2 pairs, you know? In this kind of year, you can usually get sunglasses as well, can't you? So, okay. This might have been easier with a pen. But I really love the colour of this paint. Because this is metallic paint on glossy, this little bit is glossy. Probably have to do 2 coats, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's only an accent. I'm not trying to do anything fancy. It's just a line. But it will look streaky on that glossy. Well, you know what? I don't want to do it perfectly straight and even. Let's just paint it on. Let's do it painty, and then it doesn't have to be straight and even, right? And I'll do it that way so that when I do it on here, this bit's got a little bit of painty on it. How about that? Yeah, that's pretty. I just don't have the patience for straight and even. Besides, if you paint the edges, it kind of looks rustic. Yeah, second coat works fine. It's drying really fast because the window's open. I'm not used to my paints drying so fast. There we go. There you go, see? That's see if I can get it to catch the light. There you go. See, it's just a little bit of something, something, just to catch the light a little bit. Need to do something kind of Mother's Day-ish on there. I don't know what I'll do. Send me the link to the website if you buy them online. You can check if the info on the website is okay. So if you buy them online. Oh, my glasses. Oh, right. Okay. Yes, that would be awesome. Thanks, Risha. Sorry, it took me a while to put 2 and 2 together. I've slept since that conversation, apparently. Or my brain switched off at least. Okay, so that's cute. I like that. And I've got a little bit of, I like the rosy pink hue to that copper. I really do. I'm not a rose gold fan, but that rose copper is really pretty. I'm just thinking I've got a little bit of this left. I'm wondering if I can make this into a little bit of something for the top with maybe a bit of collage fabric or something. Maybe if I cut this bit out. Tear that edge. Maybe I can do something across the top there with a bit of fabric. If I've got some, have I got any fabric that colour? I don't know, actually. Let's have a look. Or could I use that? Actually, that'd be kind of cool. That's the same colour, I don't want that. Think. Let's get the book out again and see what other. Ooh. No, I can't really use that. Ooh, I can use that bit though. That's cool. Okay. Maybe another bit of red somewhere. I need something kind of red, it's kind of like that to go just across the top there, just a sliver to go, ooh. What if I used something like this on there? No, too tall. If it had been like that all the way across, I could have got away with that, I think. That would have been quite cute to have it sort of that height all the way across there. That would have been nice, but this is too much, I think. Okay. Let's keep on keeping on. Oh, is that the same fabric? It is. Different. Okay. It's got kind of an oriental vibe to it, hasn't it? It's different. Oh, look at that, that's pretty. That would have been lovely for the centerpiece of a card, wouldn't it? Wouldn't have gone with the reds though, so. Ooh. That's a rather pretty red. Does that go? No, it's too dark. It's for my mum, it's too dark. Too dark, we need white. Red and white, red and white. That's nice, but it's no longer oriental. Red and white, red and white. Looking for red and white. Maybe we need to go back to that bit at the top. Ooh, red and white. That would go, wouldn't it? Kind of got an oriental look to it, ish. Ooh, now I'm having an idea. Now I'm having an idea. Careful. What about I'm not big on matchy, but my mum is. So what I'm going to do, I think, actually, is I can get away with that bit. So I'm just going to have to cut this by eye because I can't really. I can't fit it in the trimmer. It's too small for the trimmer. But that will fit along there quite nicely. Let's get rid of that white band. That's pretty. But that's a bit too big still. I don't like it that big. Don't like it that big. It's overpowering. Because that is so small. See, this looks like it could fit on there. And it would fit. Whereas this is way too big and modern. It doesn't work. Let's take this off here. And put that bit there like that. Is that long enough to fit across there? Oh, not quite the right size. I like that, that's pretty. Maybe I'll do a straight edge. Because it's my mum's not one of those people who understands the torn edges thing. She would look at a decal-edged book, like we'd look at a decal-edged book and go, oh, look how beautiful, they've torn the edges by hand. She'd go, couldn't they be bothered to cut them straight? She's an artist and she paints with straight lines. It's hilarious. Okay, let's put that there, slightly up from the corner, right? Right, you know where I'm going next, don't you? Slightly up from the corner. Let's do it. Seriously? Get another one out. And then I'm going to grab my paintbrush and my copper. And I'm going to go around this one as well. Set it off, right? Oh yeah, that's pretty. That's nice, I like that. That's nice. Understated. It's keeping you busy, is it, Sue? Excellent. Are you making one?
She has a kitten.
Kitty! Oh my God! Tiny kitties! Kitties! Kitty break! Kitty break! Kitty break! Kitty break! Oh my God!
Here, she can talk to you too.
I can't see it. I can't see it. Hang on. Hang on. Where's the kitty? Where's the kitty? Where's the kitty? Oh my goodness me! Aha! Oh, that's not very old.
2 weeks.
Oh, so is his eyes open? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes, yes. Just opened.
That's the feisty one, is it?
Oh my goodness. She is never quiet.
Have you adopted her? Is she your cat's kittens or?
She is a foster kitten. She was found at the school where I used to teach. And so I'm bottle feeding her until she's old enough.
She probably got lost from mum. I bet she's really feisty and into everything. And she got separated.
Yeah, well,
from mum.
she isn't very coordinated yet, so she's not into too much. But yes, there's construction going on at the school, so they had scared mom away.
Oh, what a shame. Oh, she's beautiful. she's so chatty.
Oh my, if she's awake, she's talking.
What are you calling her?
Kira.
Kira.
It was Irish for dark-haired one.
Dark-haired one, yeah. It's my sister's second name. Oh, she's so cute. And how are your kitties taking to her? Are they like, why are you making so much noise?
Some of them are curious and some of them just want her to be a little more coordinated so that they can play with her.
Oh.
Let's
she's
see.
going to be into everything.
Here. Want your bottle?
Oh, yeah. That's what she wanted.
Look
at those little paws. Oh, she's beautiful.
She likes to get up and complain a little bit before she eats her bottle. The funniest are the two dogs. They have no idea what makes this kind of noise.
I was going to say, there's a lab in the background there going, what is going on? Oh, she's so cute. Oh, I miss having kitties. I think Maddie misses having kitties as well because she snuggles with the cat next door. I couldn't trust Scooby with cats. I can't trust him with a dustbin, let alone cats.
It's been quite a while since I've had a little foster kitten. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I bet. Until you have to stay up all night giving her milk for every hour.
Oh yes, that's what we're doing now. We're on the 3 hour, and when the alarm goes off at 3 in the morning, I really wonder. But people ask me all the time how I can do foster kittens and give them away. And I always tell everybody that as long as they are kittens with no issues and they're just fine, I don't have any trouble giving them away because I know they're going to be fine.
Anybody can look after a cat that's got no issues. Cats
the ones with issues, yeah, the ones with issues still live here.
That was me with dogs, foster failing dogs because they didn't trust people. That's how I ended up keeping Gypsy and Scooby, because Scooby doesn't like other people. He loves dogs. He can't be trusted around cats. He likes kids, but he doesn't like people. He's kind of like me.
But I just wanted you to see Kira.
Oh, yeah, she's beautiful. Oh. Is there anything better than baby animals to put you in a good mood? She's adorable. Right. Oh, thanks for sharing her with us. She's cute. Yep.
Just a little show and tell.
Oh. Right, where were we up to? I think I'm mostly finished with this now, to be honest. So this was basically, for those of you who missed it, deconstructing this Christmas card, which I liked the design of. I liked the way it opened out. I thought it was very junk journal-y. So you could use it, like I said, actually, I'm going to do this way around. I hate holding things up in front of my face. It gets on my nerves. There we go. So I'll show you with the one that's dry. deconstructing this because I could see how it was made. You could use this as, you know, this could be in your middle of your book, and you could have a fold out there and a fold out there, or even a tip in there. You could have this sewn so that this is a pocket and then this folds out. You could use it that way and sew it down on the sides and have it so that this pops out and use it as an envelope. So that goes, tucks back in there. And it's all constructed on this basic 3-fold design that's like the notebooks, the notebook holders that I did, the notebook envelopes. So it's just a different way of folding it, basically. I dropped my glue on the floor, but it's got its lid on, so that's okay. It won't get covered in dog hair. So reconstructed by taking a flat piece of scrapbook paper, 12 by 6. This is obviously edged. So I used a border punch along the edges, folded it in 3. And then each of these wings I folded back on itself. And then this one I cut around so that it lays over. And then I put this coordinating piece of paper on here. I actually ended up, this is a tip up, just like this. So obviously you could use that as a journal spot. You could put this whole thing as a journal spot into a pocket, or you could put several pieces of paper in here and just use that as a booklet on its own for a special occasion. That would be quite nice too. I put strips down here of coordinating cream because the white was too glaring. The white against that with the cream in the middle was too glaring. So I may actually stick these down so that it opens that way. I kind of like the way it opens out. When you stand it up, it looks like that. It's really pretty. I'm trying to put it so that it opens naturally, so you can see what it would look like when it's stood up on a mantelpiece or something. Isn't that nice? So now I'm just thinking I still want something along here. I still want something there. So where's that bit of pink paper? I'm wondering if, like one of those poppies, would that be too much? Would that be too much? Yes, I think it would. I just want a strip. I just want a strip of something that matches that. Maybe. No, it's too much, you see. It's pink, it's not red. It's pink, not red. Maybe the poppies, the colour. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe that's what I need. So rather than cutting poppies, just cut a sliver of this in the right colourway. Let's try that. See how that works. Yeah, there we go. See, that works. I like that, just with the sliver of the right colour. I think that works. And I'll put it up there so it's not fighting with the paper. Yes, let's do that. So if I cut it there, rescue my glue. Make sure I'm putting my glue on the right side. Okay, let's do it that way so that the greenish bits are on this side, which will draw the green over from there, because there's a tiny little bit of green in that side. that off and hunt for my card thingy again. There you go. That also covers that bit where I got glue on the top of the paper and I couldn't get it off. That's better. Just coordinates a little bit better. Just sets it off nicely with that little bit of peekaboo. I like it. And then I've just thought it would be rather nice if I put this on the back. I've got a handmade by stamp. I can just pop that on the back and put my handmade stamp underneath. That'd look quite cool. Maddie, what you doing? Because it's kind of, it's kind of the same colour schemes. Well, it is the same colour scheme, but it's not quite oriental enough. But it looks nice just on the back as a finishing touch. By the time you've turned it over, all you're looking for is the same colours. You're not looking for a particular theme, I don't think. Or I wouldn't be anyway. My mum probably would be. She'll go, that doesn't quite match, you know. Did you mean to put that off centre like that? Yes, Mum, actually, I did. Thoughts? Let's continue this theme. I'm kind of regretting not backing this whole thing with cream now. I think the cream was rather nice, but who looks at the back of a card, right? Nobody expects the back of a card to look like the front of a card, except my mum. Again, not going for the perfect straight lines because we don't do perfect straight lines. I'm doing a painty line. If I wanted it to be perfect, I'd go to Hallmark, right? But I just love this colour. I've ordered another one actually because I'm gonna be going through this colour really fast, I can tell. There we go. So that's the back, it just sets it off nicely, and I'll put my handmade stamp across there. I like that. Your mum's the same way, and as soon as you say, oh yes, I did mean it, she says, oh, I like it like that. Yeah. I would never have thought of doing that. No, because you measure everything to within an inch of its life, Mother. And then you get Dad to double check it. I like that. It's just missing one thing now. I'm sorry, it's got to be done. You don't have to ink your edges. You don't have to paint your edges. But if you're going to do it, do all of them, okay? Please, don't just leave one not matching. It will look weird. That's better. It just blends out the edge of the white paper, so it doesn't look quite so much, I just cut this out of a magazine kind of look. I think that's rather nice. I've got a coppery pen. It's not quite as red, but it's a coppery bronze that I can write Happy Mother's Day in here in my italics, and then I'll write and we're done. Yay. And I can probably, actually, I wonder if I can, you know, I can probably make an envelope out of that bit of paper. Not quite, I don't think, but I don't think it's quite big enough. But I will find another bit of paper. It's a shame, actually. If I hadn't cut that up, I could have made an envelope out of it. Oh well. what they're there for, right? Let's find another bit. I can, oh, look at that. Pink and red. That'll make a nice envelope. It's a bit too bright for that particular one. I want more of a cream and red, or red and white. More of these kind of colours. That's a pretty page. That could make a nice envelope. It's a bit too garish. I don't like the pink and green in that. That's crazy, but it would make a nice envelope for something else. I kind of like this actually, with that little splash of blue on it, but I don't want the blue. There's some more oriental pages at the back here. Where's that other page that we found with all the flowers on it? No, it's too pink. She uses a lot of pink, this woman. I think her favourite colours are pink, turquoise and red. I'm just going to go out there and say it. Oh, teacups. That'd be pretty for a Tassiomancy page, look. That's a pretty border. See, these kind of borders, you could just cut that out. It's got half a teacup on it. Cut it out, stick it to the side of the page. Boom, you got a pocket. Turn it over, cut it in half. Boom, you got 2 journaling cards. Stick a bit of lined paper on the back, or a index card or something. I love these. These are beautiful. Oh, here's the same colour scheme. Look, there's the oh, it's even got the same. It's got the same panel on it and everything, look. Oh, look, it's the first one I looked at and went, oh, that one would be nice. How about that? It's the same pattern. Okay, so let's make an envelope to fit this card, shall we? So the first thing I'm going to do is even up that edge. So trying to keep as much of my vignette as possible because it matches the card. Oops. Trim that little bit off. Okay, so if we look at this, if we make this the front of the card, we've got a room for the address. Is that right? Almost. Now it's dry. Okay, so I'm just going to pin that together at the top just so it's easier to deal with. I'm just going to keep flapping open. So if that's going to be the front of my card, this is going to be the back. Envelope, or I could do it that way. I kind of want to have that bit in there. I want that bit to be matching, and I kind of want that bit to be the bit that folds over at the back of the envelope. So I'm thinking if I fold it along this line, like that, put my card in there. And then when I fold that over, that is going to be matching the card, look. Cute, huh? So this will come open. And when you open it, you'll have the same design. I like it. Okay, so let's make it look exact like it's supposed to have the same design. Let's have a little bit of extra on the ends. Let's include that bit there. In fact, let's center this piece. And that'll include that bit there then. So if I cut it about there, and about there, so it's a little bit wider than I want it to be. No, let's use the trimmer. Let's do it straight. It's not just going in your journal, it's an actual thing that's going out to somebody. Let's do it properly. So there's that bit. Oh, and that would make a nice little card or tip in too, wouldn't it? Look, to put something, you wouldn't even need to fill in that bit. You could write on that, as long as you wrote on it with a ballpoint pen, not a, I mean, it's kind of semi-gloss. It's kind of, it's not too glossy to write on. Or you could put panels in it, like, where's that little pink panel gone? Like a little panel card in there, like that. Wouldn't that be cute? Just go in your journal. Don't throw these things away. Don't throw them away. They're cool. Okay, so I need to chop off that bit as well. Let's just double check the width. Yeah. Ooh, I need a new blade. And what I think I'll do is I'll stitch this down each side. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to get the sewing machine out right now for that. But I will stitch this down each side, I think. I might even hand sew it. You could do a nice little bit of blanket stitch like we did the other day down the side of that. So I would need to stitch it. So I've got about 1/4 of an inch on either side, and I would need to stitch it halfway along each one. So I might do a bit of zigzag right on the edge, and then that'll be about the right size. If I have to snip a tiny little millimetre off the card to make it fit, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I think that's going to be rather cute. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make these corners just a tiny bit more envelope-like. Just going to trim that corner off there. Take that bit, turn it around, hold it on that corner, and trim it off there so it's even. Oh, it won't round the corner, it's too sharp a thing. I'll round the corner myself then, okay? I've even got a nice space on here to put name and address and a post stamp. I'll put it in for right-handed people. See, it matches. It's exactly the same vignette if you put it the right way round. My mum's right-handed, so I will remember to put it right-handed for her. So that will now sit in there. So when you open it up, that matches that. It's the same. Again, that's the same vignette as well. I just noticed that. That is that little bit there, isn't it? That's really pretty. I like that. And to make it match, what I'll probably do, it's got a lot of gold accents, so I might do red on, either red on the bobbin and white on the thread, or vice versa. And where the white is, just use my copper pen to go over the white stitching with my copper pen, so it looks like it's got copper thread on it. That'd be really pretty, especially on this side. If I do it in zigzag on this side, that'll look really good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And I've even got an extra bit here that I can decorate my other bit of paper with. Could put that on there. In fact, I like that. I'm going to do that. I've got another ready-made thing for my journal. I think what I'm going to do, once I've done the steampunk journal, I'm just going to do a random journal. So I'm just going to do a journal that's fairly plain and neutral to start with, and then I'm just going to do all sorts of things in it. I'm just kind of getting antsy because I've done, well, I did a colour theme for January and February, and then I've done a proper theme for March and April. I think by June or by May, I'm going to be going, yeah, I just want to do my own thing for this month. So I might go, May, I might go with a floral theme, but just any colour goes, and just make it really wild. And then I can use things like this because it's got a flower on it, you see. It's got a pretty flower. And this has got pretty flowers. Right. Should we call it a day? Who's been making along with me? Anybody had to go along with me? No?
Made a little sample card, but just for future reference. So.
Sorry, Maddie barked just as you started talking. What did you say?
I just made a little tiny sample one so I'd remember how to make it.
Oh! Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
oh, well, let's have a look.
I made notes on it so I would remember ideas and stuff. So
what a cute idea. That's the kind of thing that I was, sorry, I'm having trouble finding you. There you are. That's the kind of thing I was going to do, like a sample junk journal that I could put little bits and pieces like that in.
Yeah.
So that I knew how to make it and where I'd found it.
Yeah, and then I have a little box that I made little sample envelopes when you did.
Oh no, that's so cute. That's like, so adorable.
So little ideas, little envelopes.
Oh, you need a little baby junk journal now. I'm not kidding. You need a little baby junk journal, like a little A6 junk journal to put all your little samples in.
Oh, that would be great, actually.
In fact, if you could make a little junk journal that fit in that box, that would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Guess what Mara's going to be doing this weekend? That is cute, though. That's what I want to do. I want to make a sample junk journal that I can just chuck anything in. But it's just got, you know, it's got notes and things for where I found stuff. And I can make little versions of things to see if it works, because I got quite a few things here that I've made that I just wanted to see if they work, and then I can show you guys, or I can do it on YouTube or whatever when I have figured out how to do it properly. That would be really cute. Yeah, do it. do it. I will if you will.
I will do it.
Anybody else been making? Rish has been working in her junk journal. Cody's been busy. No, nobody else want to share anything? Right, well, let's call it a day then. I can go and shut the door because it's going to be a bit chilly. I'm going to have some tea. I'm going to finish off my little card and take some photos of it. And then I might make another one in a different style to go in my junk journal. Or a little mini one. I might have to make a little mini junk journal for samples now. I do want to use that Madame Bovary journal. It's just about the right size for a little baby one. It has gone chilly. It was gorgeous earlier. I was out without a coat earlier. It was like 15 degrees outside, but it's gone really chilly. Oh, hang on. We didn't. Hang on. We didn't check on the progress of our book. You didn't even remind me. Yeah, this is stuck now. It's not quite cured. It's going to need a bit longer with some weight on it. But it's okay for putting a thing on. So I can't even find my books. Oh, there's one. I bet that's February. Yes, of course it is. January's gone walkabout. Really though? Really? January has gone for a walk. It's a big book. How can it go? I don't know. It's disappeared. It's gone walkabout. Did I put it in here? No. Okay, well, we'll have to do that next time then. But this hasn't dried anyway, so I've still got to wait for these straps to dry. But that's halfway through. So at least we got some of it done. It takes time to do bookbinding because you have to wait for things to dry. That's the issue. If I thought about it, I would have done that first. Then I could have shown you how to put that on, and then I could have stuck this side and it would have been finished. But I didn't. But anyway, if you get it to that point, then you're well on the way. I'm going to put the weight back on this and see if I can find January. Okay. See you next time, guys. Bye.